Hello to all the geek enthusiasts and nerd aficionados. Mest5150 with MaliceCast TV Talk live stream, welcoming you guys to the program this week to talk about The Walking Dead, episode 4 of season 8. Some guy, just
some guy.
So, I have my cohorts in crime to talk all things walkers and zombies as we do every single week. With me, Mr. ICZorro. How's things going, sir?
Fantastic. Let me turn my replay down on my tablet real quick. No, it's going great. I watched the episode this morning. I managed to watch Talking Dead when I got home from work today, so I'm nice and fresh on it. Not super happy.
Yeah, I think we all know what the worst moment of the episode will be.
Of course.
When we get to that. How about you, Mrs. Malice? Did you have a little cry fest?
I did, and I screamed out, Shiva, no, no, no.
Only heard that 9 times in the pre-show.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is, I would have to say, our first filler episode of the season.
I would agree, but significant things actually happened.
Yes.
It felt like filler. It definitely felt like filler, but there are definitely huge repercussions that we're going to have to deal with for the rest of the season.
And we have Robert and Beacon joining us in the chat room. Welcome. Let you guys know this is a spoiler cast.
Yes.
So, yeah, we're going to talk about the episode. Robert said he hasn't seen it yet. So we know Beacon hasn't seen it yet, but and Nancy's in the chat room. Welcome back, Nancy. Thank you so much for coming in. We haven't seen you in a while.
Beacon also says he has us on mute. He's just here for the chat channel.
Hi.
So, for those that are listening to us, if you like this cast, make sure to hit that like button. If you wanted to see more of our cast later, hit the subscribe button. We know some of you have been coming back because we're about to hit our second 1K video on The Walking Dead.
This could be the third.
Talks. So thank you so much for everybody that's been checking us out and getting our thoughts and opinions. We would love it more if you came and chatted with us live. If you're not here to be with us live, make sure to leave some comments in the comments down below. Let us know what your thoughts were on the episodes. Let us know if you think we're completely wrong or if we make a good point, which we don't do very often. But
and if you do like watching us talk about this stuff, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, that like button. Help us continue to do this consistently because we love doing it.
Yeah, we talk about all things nerd both here and on our website, which is written malice-corp.com. You can check that out. But let's get into the episode. So this was season 8, episode 4. Some Guy was the name of the episode.
There was some guy in the episode.
There was some guy. Yeah.
There were a couple of some guys.
What was it?
Yeah.
Gunter?
But what I really want to get into with these episodes is kind of as we go along, start putting some soundtracks together for the episodes for music to listen to along with the what's going on. So we opened up the episode with Ezekiel having another flashback. Hey, flashbacks, Walking Dead, lots of flashbacks this season.
And I get it. I get it. It's him gearing up. It's him getting in character as King Ezekiel. But after seeing that, he goes into another 4 or 5 minute speech. I don't need any more King Ezekiel speeches. It feels like we've had one to 2 of them every episode this season.
I think after this episode that we won't have any more.
I would agree, and I hope that's true. I mean, the situation that dictates that makes me sad, but man, we get it. He's a good leader. He's a good public speaker. I don't need to hear any more King Ezekiel speeches.
He's a great public speaker.
Yeah. He's got that resonating voice.
Although things were starting to repeat themselves, which I think that if we do get a death from him, the phrase we're going to get, whether it's I am bitten or I am dying or something, it's going to be, and yet I smile.
Yeah.
Honestly, the speech at the beginning of this episode was so similar to to previous speeches that for a second I thought, did I start the wrong episode? Are we going to cut to Rick and Maggie at some point?
Rick all sad.
putting a soundtrack to this for the opening scene. What came to mind while watching it as they were patting each other on the backs and we are one.
We are the champions.
Actually, I took Yesterday by the Beatles.
Oh.
Because we knew what was coming, because we knew that everybody had gotten blasted and stuff like that. So
all my troubles seem so far away.
Exactly. So if you start watching the episode again, make sure to throw Yesterday on in the background, and it'll get very interesting. What did you guys think about the whole opening with showing him the two spectrums, the not one lost, and then basically everybody lost.
Yeah, and then having a pile of dead bodies on top of him. Oh,
the bodies hit the floor.
That would have been yep. As you cut into that scene. Yeah, and I thought that was a really interesting thing, just that aerial shot of just a shell of dead bodies around him, interspersed with the not losing a single one. Like, oh, dude.
When I was watching it, all I kept looking for was Jerry. Where's Jerry?
I did too.
Jerry.
Yeah, same type of thing. I wanted to see where Jerry was. That's the character that I cared about the most outside of Carol.
Of course.
So,
but Carol's Carol, so you know you're going to see her later.
When do people learn in this world that when somebody's dead, it's time to get out of there?
I know.
What was going through your heads when you're watching him like turn over each person instead of
he should have immediately been stabbing every single one of them in the head.
I might have thought maybe if he rolled one over, they would be alive. So maybe that's what he was trying to do, but they're all dead.
But for how long? Look at those bullet wounds. Those were 50 cals.
And there are people with limbs ripped off and pieces of their shoulders missing. You're like, nobody's moving, nobody's breathing, nobody's moaning. Get your knife out. Get to work. I know these are your friends, but this is the zombie apocalypse year 4 or 5 or whatever.
So what went through my head during that scene for the song to play because of the way he was reacting was All Shook Up by Elvis Presley. I'm telling you, watch these episodes with this music. It's gonna make it a lot more emotional if it wasn't already, especially these filler episodes. But yeah, so we see the same reaction that happens over and over again. Just he sees somebody that's a survivor, starts helping him out of there.
Yeah, random guy was alive. What was he on the far outskirts of the group of people?
Maybe
well, not so random because he was one of the ones that was getting patted on the shoulder when they were getting ready. So that, they were giving a character shot. So, but this is the question I have for you guys. Why is Carol seem to be always the only smart one in this show? Because everybody else scatters and gets shot or wherever they run. Carol's the only one that goes, hey, there's a gun and a shooter there. Let's go to that building and take out that shooter.
That's because Carol, I think, has been through so much and she seems to have learned so much. So she was more clever to, she's been in the situation with the governor. These people haven't. So she knew kind of what to do, but why she didn't say anything, hey, this way, follow me, is kind of beyond me. Like she should have.
Well, if she calls out a large group of people to run towards the building, they're going to see that.
Or at least, maybe have gone through like some kind of hand signals like, hey, over there, before they went out and started this war, which they seem to have not done.
I would say it's I think we can say of anybody in this show, they've been through so much. I think it's who she was before the apocalypse that makes her what she is now. And it's called out later in a conversation with Ezekiel, where he's talking about, were you always this way? Were you always the brave, determined, decisive? And you think back to what she was before with her domestic situation and what was happening there, where she is a survivor. She is somebody that's always going to find a way to make things work, regardless of what situation she's in. So when all of a sudden everybody that she's with is getting mowed down, she's already been trying to. She probably wasn't even outside when that gun went off. She was probably already towards that building, as a possibility of where the firearms they were looking for might be. She's not just a survivor at this point, having gone through what she went through even before the apocalypse. She's a proactive survivor, and I think that's why she's such a badass.
Yep.
Well, which they point to in the conversation between Ezekiel, flashback again, between Ezekiel and Carol, where it's like, where did you come from? Were you always this person? Stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I know Beacon watching the show from the beginning again and binging it, I'm thinking of all those early seasons and stuff, and it's like, yeah, where she's come from is still astounding.
And you got to realize in the comics, that character is dead, has been dead. The reason that this character has continued on and has continued to evolve in such a crazy, awesome way is that Melissa McBride is a fantastic actress.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
The way the direction that she took that character led the writers to write more crazy, badass stuff for her, and it's totally working.
And with the comic book, she dies. She's not in the comics.
And to point out a couple things in the chat room, because we love talking with you guys, so we want to be known what's being said and stuff. Nancy brings up that AMC Walking Dead should give a big donation to Save the Tiger Fund.
Yes.
Or Big Cat Rescue or something like that.
I agree with that.
And we're talking yeah, go for it.
I was going to say, Robert, on your music tip, The Doors' "This Is the End" would always be a good choice for any zombie apocalypse thing. This is the end.
I think with every flashback, they should play "Let's Do the Time Warp" again.
Oh, good Lord.
I don't know that the tone is the same, but okay.
Speed up the video a little bit. Yeah.
It's just a jump to the left.
But yeah, so Ezekiel, come back to Ezekiel. He's got his one savior buddy that's like, we got to get you out of here, King, and everything like that. And then that guy gets capped.
Yeah, I actually expected that guy to last longer. I didn't really see it coming.
I kind of jumped when that happened. I was like, oh my God, where'd this guy come from?
Yeah, and the guy that came, the Poindexter, because that's essentially what he was.
What was his name? Something with a G. Gareth.
He said that his name was Gunther, so his name
Gunther.
I thought he said he's Negan.
No, he points out,
clearly not
Negan.
Negan.
You know your name.
Yeah. Is it just me, or did that guy look like if Carl and Eugene had a kid?
Yeah.
With some 80s glasses.
Well, he had the mullet, so.
And the 80s glasses. He looked like straight out of Central Casting, like the guy that's not allowed to be near a school.
Oh, yeah.
But once again, it was just filler. It was just, let's throw this scene into to the end of the episode. That's how I felt. I mean,
I'm going to disagree with you again. I think that as much as this episode felt like filler, I don't think it really was. I think there was significant stuff there because the scenes with Gunther, he is breaking Ezekiel down mentally.
Yep.
You say, oh man, look at them. You know, you're just some con man with a tiger. Look, hey, all these people that are following you, they're still following you. It's just you already failed them.
Which is the first question that I want to bring up to you guys about this episode. So, major question that we had out on Twitter and on Instagram. Did Ezekiel have illusions of grandeur, or is it the fact that people have followed him for so long and stuff that it wasn't delusions of grandeur? It was just, hey, it's time to make a move. We have to, and or
Mrs. Malice, I'm going to let you take that one first.
Yeah.
I think it was more like, I wouldn't say it was illusions of grandeur. I think it just because people got used to following him. Because I mean, hey, he had a tiger. I'd follow a dude that had a tiger. I'm sorry.
If you're good enough with a tiger that it can hang out in the crowd, yeah. If you're good enough with the tiger that it can hang out in the crowd even when it can't see you anymore and it's just calm and it knows that they're their friends, you're probably pretty good with that tiger.
Yeah. So I think it was more like they saw him as protection and he took on that role and became their leader to protect them, and he just kind of liked to act, so he threw that up in there and made himself the king. So I don't think it was I think that's
I don't know. I think that towards the end he thinks it was delusions of grandeur.
Yes.
I think that it's not actually, because as Mrs. Malice is saying, if you've got that crowd of people following you, you've done something to earn their trust, to earn their belief.
Yeah.
They've been following him for long enough that he has done something right, and they've won enough victories that he's done something right. I think where you get into delusions of grandeur is the fact that he started to believe he could do no wrong.
Yep.
That whole speech with not one dead, that's foolhardy. You can't go into a battle in the apocalypse like that against a group like the Saviors and believe you're going to come back after losing no one. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the theme that's kind of happening with this season so far. And if you've seen the clips for next episode, it may be the same thing over again. But it really is the Saviors pretty much picking at the brains and going, hey, take a look in the mirror. Who are you really? It was the whole thing with Malice and Rick and the killing Grace's dad. Rick looking in the mirror. Are we monsters? Are we not? Now it's this guy telling Ezekiel, you're a con man, and Ezekiel seeing everybody dying, and then you're seeing the flashbacks of him pumping everybody up, and it's back to that take a look in the mirror. Were you a con man or were you a true leader?
Yeah.
It seems like that's the theme of the season so far.
There's a thin line between those two.
But then you'd have to question like Rick and Negan's leadership too. And then, are they giving that false leadership too, just to have people follow them? Or,
I find it different with those two. With Negan and Rick, I think that they are true leaders with vastly different styles, of course. But they are people that they're not playing a part. They're being the most them.
They're surviving.
They're being the most true, most magnified versions of themselves. And the people that are following them are doing that because of that. Whereas Ezekiel is playing a role and people are following him because of that.
Well, no, because people started to follow Rick because he was a cop.
Yes.
So they felt safe with him. So again, that's Ezekiel thing. They felt safe with him, so they started following him.
But again, that's Rick being who he is. He was a cop. That's like his marrow, his DNA. Whereas Ezekiel was a zookeeper. He's not a king. They're following him because he's playing a role. He's putting on a front to get people to follow him. So and I think
he played the role perfectly because you could have had the well-spoken man that he is, very Shakespearean and stuff, or you could have gone, by God, I got a tiger. Come join me. People are going to be like, nuts, so I'm out.
Well, in either case, I think if you earn Jerry's loyalty, you've probably done something right.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what Jerry, if you're a cool dude, you're good.
He's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, so.
And by the way, Kari Payton has been acting the crap out of that role. That dude is fantastic. He's almost as good an actor as King Ezekiel.
Yes.
In which he comes to the rescue. He saves King Ezekiel, which thank God. I was so happy with seeing Slice and Dice.
Blood and
Axeman.
Blood and gore.
So apparently we are not allowed to see an actual human split by a battle axe. We only saw the insides as it fell apart, which was a really cool shot.
And the shirt ripping with the little line.
Yeah. No, that was fantastic direction. I really liked it.
Ezekiel gave him a tracer line by pulling the blade. So he's like, okay, here's the just follow that.
I thought that was up the side. Yeah.
Well, he got him in the stomach where he got him, but but yeah, so Jerry comes to the rescue, and thank God Jerry's one of the ones that's alive. Getting into Jerry being there, we got to talk best moments. So what Mrs. Malice was your best moment of this episode?
We're not into it yet, but mine is.
I know, but still bring it up.
The race, I'm not. Why did I call it race? When Rick and Daryl are following the guys with the guns, and they're all tag teaming, and
that was a straight up video game chase mission right there.
It was epic. It was so awesome to see Rick right there, and then him pull away, and then Daryl just bang, 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 and then
I felt like I was watching a Grand Theft Auto scene play out.
Yep.
And Robert brings up in the chat room.
G.I. Joe and not G.I. Joe, Indiana Jones from his Jeep to the other one. not G.I. Joe. Well, I guess you can call it G.I. Joe too, but Indiana Jones in it up. So I liked it. It was great.
What about you, Zorro? What was your favorite scene?
Well, let's see here. I don't know that I had a particular. Well, you know what? No, I do. It was out of nowhere, Carol mowing down 5 people from the ceiling tiles.
That was a great.
Didn't see that coming.
Just
mid conversation.
Smartest person in this group. She goes into the ceiling tiles. And
it was just mid conversation. It was like, you're like, okay, Carol got away. She's hiding somewhere. The last we saw her, she was ducked down behind some things. Yeah. And then, so these guys are holding 50 cals and trying to figure out what's going on. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I thought they were just stupid guys that weren't looking in their peripheral vision.
Yeah, me too. Like, oh my God.
No, it took a minute. And I actually rewatched the scene. If you look, the smoke from the gun and dust from the ceiling tiles comes down towards where she shot from. They did it really well.
Wow. I didn't rewatch it, but I'll have to.
That's awesome. So go back, guys, rewatch it, see the details of how well they do the show. But yeah, my favorite scene was Jerry coming back and trying to save Ezekiel, and just the stand and fight that they did. Hence the thumbnail on this this today's cast was the like, just bring it. We're gonna go toe to toe. Breaking the axe, trying to break that thing and go. Yeah.
Oh my God, breaking the axe! What? After hacking at that chain for 3 minutes, did he really think that the wood of the axe was going to break it?
You never know.
As soon as he put it through and started pulling, I was like, "You're going to break your axe, dude."
Well, I think he was, but I think he was hoping the fact that he had weakened it enough that it would finally just snap it. But yeah, Jerry's not the smartest of people. We've established this.
Yeah.
No, dude, he's not.
Got a good heart, and man, he will try.
He's a good guy, but he's not in Mensa.
No, I'd have to agree with Wes too. That was probably one of my other favorite scenes, because through that whole thing, watching the king go through losing everybody, I was saying, "Oh God, where's Jerry?" And then him popping up, that kind of made my night. So I'd say that's my second favorite scene.
Yeah. And as we bring up old, flashbacks in this series and older episodes and stuff, you can always catch up on Walking Dead if you don't have DVDs or want to watch them streaming and stuff. Amazon Prime, great source for that. What helps you and helps us, if you're going to go to Amazon anyways, go to the website, malice-corp.com, click on the Amazon link on our website. And yeah, it helps us in the long run, and you still get to get your Walking Dead fix and go buy DVDs and whatnot and everything. So
you're going to Amazon anyway. Help us out. Go to it through us.
Yes.
Yeah. So we appreciate it greatly. Hence, if you become a subscriber as well, your name gets scrolled up here, because we do thank every single person that comes here. We like them to be able to take screenshots and tweet out, "Hey, look, my screen name is on this channel," and stuff like that. So we don't tell you to pay us any money to get your name in recognition. We really appreciate you guys. So going into the next scene in terms of for the soundtrack was we get Carol into a bit of a pickle, and she chases the guys outside. ICZorro, we'll be right back. But she chases the guys outside and gets into a gunfight and gets kind of pinned. And she, being the smart person she is, sets up everything so that she can turn the tables on these 5 guys that have her pinned. And once again, smartest person in the group, being able to figure out how to get a guy over there hostage wise and open up the gates to bring the walkers in. I had on the soundtrack for her standing up and saying not to shoot me and playing the whole thing Confident by Demi Lovato. So once again, but yeah, it's great scene, but once again, it was just kind of like moving through the motions. What do you think?
Yeah. I just saw it as Carol being Carol, because that's how Carol is. She's just so clever, and they show the shots of her going, "Oh, look, there's the gate," 4 button. There's gate 4. They're right behind it. They don't realize that they're too distracted by me. There's zombies on the other side of the fence. Let's get them over here, and I'll hit the button.
Yeah, and the thing is, Carol has learned, and we learned it with the cookies, that she knows how to play the damsel in distress. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. Don't, please don't hurt.
But you could see real fear in her face when she was standing up there, turned around. You could see, okay, I've made a bold choice here. I have a plan, but if it doesn't work, they're just going to shoot me.
Yeah. But Carol is very notorious for her. Look over here, look over here, look over here. And then, haha, boom. She does it with the flower thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at the flowers. Oh, no.
Look at the flowers.
But no, that was brilliant, and I loved it. It was, you could clearly see the shots that established her plan. Like, oh, that's gate 4. Hey, there's a switch. This is gate 4. And if I get them to shoot at me during this time, they're not even going to notice that the gate's opening. That was brilliant.
Yep.
Classic Carol.
Yeah. And that's where we got the flashback scene, because right before that, you have King Ezekiel and Jerry getting ready to just take the battle to the swarm that's coming at them, and they start fighting them. For the soundtrack, for the getting ready to fight the zombies, and start it right when they get in their stance.
Let's get ready to rumble.
No. If you start this song right when they get in the stance, the opening couple chords, "It's My Life" by Bon Jovi.
This is the first one I disagree with.
I'm sorry, but if you get those,
no.
I'm telling you, watch the scene with the song.
Okay. Yep. No, it's in my head, and I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they go to the fight. She sees them. She's turned the tide, and she can get these guns. And it cuts to the scene of Ezekiel talking about who he became when he met Shiva, the fact that he didn't just jump in the pit. The
fact that he chose to become who he was,
a hero and stuff like that. And she didn't know that Rick and Daryl were going to come.
She couldn't have.
No.
So let's put it in perspective. I'm gonna go with you, Zorro, first. Was that the stupid decision to make? Because
absolutely.
Yes.
Well, yes and no. My gut reaction is absolutely. Realistically, saving one of the leaders of the 3 townships or whatever, the 3 communities, that is super important, having big leadership like that. However, if they had actually lost Ezekiel and Jerry there, what's left of the kingdom, and there are none of the fighters left, it would have been just the communities, could have been split between Hilltop and Alexandria, and we still would have had Rick and Maggie, really strong leaders. Having those guns go to the saviors would have been a huge loss. Yes. And I wonder, knowing that this season is supposed to be, I don't know for sure, but we're all expecting that the season is going to be the triumvirate of the communities triumphing over the Negan and the Saviors. I think that getting those guns has got to be a turning point for them.
Yep.
50 caliber machine guns are a huge weapons. Those things will chew down a building.
And there's 2 of them, right?
At least, I believe there's at least 2. Yeah. So the fact that she chose to save Jerry and Ezekiel rather than get the guns, I watched Talking Dead this afternoon when I got home from work, and Kirkman pointed out, he said, look, every choice Carol makes, it's about people. Mm-hmm. As brutal and as savage as she can be, she makes a choice that's going to help people that she likes. So when she had the choice to go for the guns or help the people, she chose the people.
But see, there's the difference. That's what I want to bring up to Mrs. Malice. The difference is, in the past, when she was helping people, she learned to let emotions go.
Yes.
That you couldn't be emotion. Did this feel like it's more of almost an emotional choice that she's making to help save those 2 people versus saving the Mrs. Malice?
I think she cares about the king, so seeing him in trouble she made that choice. Yeah, she didn't know that Rick and Daryl were literally like down the street, you know, and getting ready to show up, and took that loss. But knowing Carol, you know, she knew that they would eventually somehow get those guns back because she knows Rick and Daryl. She knows her other group. So I think with her being so close to the king, she would have rather saved him and have another life to help fight versus guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And does it feel okay? So they take the shots and then they start getting the guns out of there. We got to move the guns. We got to get them back to the sanctuary. They, a couple days prior, moved the guns from where they were to here. Does it almost feel and
Deus Ex Machina? Yeah.
Well, not so much that, but is there a little birdie type of thing? Is there, you know, somebody letting them know, hey, they're finding out where these things are, you know?
There is the theory that what's his name? Dwight has been not entirely forthcoming with Rick's group. I really want to be on his side. I don't know why, because he's a horrible person he's not a horrible person. He's a good person that's done horrible things out of self-interest. I really want to believe that Dwight is being forthcoming with Rick's group, but I can see the possibility that he didn't quite feed them correct information.
I think in my previous episode when we did this, I did say something about Dwight playing both fields. He's playing both sides to his advantage. That's what I think.
Okay.
I could see that, except for the fact that he hates Negan so much. He hates that guy.
True. But and he also knows that if Negan finds out that's what he's doing, Negan's going to kill him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true as well.
So he's got to be giving hints to both sides. So
I would not want to. I just wouldn't want to be in his position. It'd be terrible.
No, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't want another iron in my face. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't know. I just think that the hatred of Negan for the whole humiliation, the burning of the face, the taking of the wife.
Yeah.
Like overall, he really wants Rick's group to win. As many problems as he might have with Daryl, he has more hatred for Negan, in my opinion.
Sure.
Yeah. It's just weird that they keep, and it could be just the Ex Machina, just like,
and
you know.
Keep in mind, we haven't actually heard or seen anything from Dwight since the first episode?
Sanctuary, yeah.
So anything that we are thinking about what Dwight might or might not have done, the only thing that we have seen from him this season is actively helping Rick's group.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, exactly. Which we'll get more potentially next episode if it's not just an episode of just Negan and them just sitting in a trailer talking.
It's a serious possibility.
It's a very serious possibility. So we get into the saviors coming. Rick, not the saviors, not Negan's saviors, but Rick and Daryl showing up just in the nick of time to go chase down the truck to go stop the 50 cows from getting to the sanctuary. For your soundtrack listing on this, we are going back to an 80s great of Holding Out for a Hero by Bonnie Tyler from the Footloose soundtrack.
I'm holding out for a hero. Nice.
Pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking, I can't drive 55.
Robert brings up that he doesn't care if Negan, talking about Dwight, I'm assuming, he doesn't care if Negan finds out. He's just trying to do as much damage to Negan as he can before he is found out.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I can see that. At this point, he's got a death wish. He doesn't care anymore, I think.
Well, he's lost so much already.
Yeah, so I think he just wants to, which is, Robert brings up a great point that I want to get to when we talk about the end of this episode and stuff. But they get the 50 cows back.
And by the way, that scene was a lot of fun.
Yes, I love it.
Like I said, it was like watching a Grand Theft Auto mission.
Mm-hmm.
It was, first of all, the guy sitting in the back of the truck drops down the tailgate and you're like, ha, guy with a gun. And by the way, that guy with the gun is the worst shot in the history of ever.
He's a stormtrooper.
Yeah, he is definitely a stormtrooper. He's pinging the hell out of the Jeep. He's not hitting the windshield at all. And then randomly just Rick makes a couple of swerves, and then here comes Daryl, the best shot in the world, riding a motorcycle one-handed around a curve with a pistol, just crack shot. Gets it.
Okay, so when that scene happened, that exact scene when Rick swerved and Daryl was right there, I wrote down on my notes, shake and bake.
Shake and bake. It can only be number one. That was fantastic.
Definitely.
Good call.
That's the first thing I said.
Shake and bake.
I want to watch that.
18.
So, and if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you need to. Oh, good Lord, I forgot the name of the movie. Will Ferrell.
Talladega.
Nights.
Thank you. Yeah.
The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. And by the way, in the chat, Robert says for that chase scene, he would go with Van Halen, "Running with the Devil."
That was a great one too. Yeah, that was great. I also had Sabotage on my list, but
FYI, I'm only allowed to do this singing because Mrs. Malice's husband, Jack Malice, is currently sleeping.
Yes.
So shh, don't get too loud.
I'll sing quieter.
So yeah, so we get the guns back, and more of Carol and Ezekiel and Jerry trying to get to more safety, and we finally find out what happened to that poor bastard a couple episodes ago when the zombie that looked all wrecked.
Yeah, I was wrong.
So we got some foreshadowing going here by doing this or setting this up for something, because you don't show something to this degree if it's not going to play a place somewhere later. But you have toxic waste, it looks like, that's melting zombies for the most part, the flesh, and the ones that are around the area.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for the Toxic Avenger to come out.
Where's the Ninja Turtles when you need them?
And yeah, so I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that that's the play a part, or was it just there to just be there right now?
Oh, I don't.
Considering they were around a lot of factories, that kind of made sense to have something like that there. So I think it was just there, and they just kind of waddled into it.
It's a plot point that's plausible. You know? I don't think it's not a huge stretch. It's not something that we would totally expect, but yeah, why not? Yeah, bunch of toxic waste barrels in the middle of a creek. And, why not?
They've had sand zombies, ocean zombies, lake zombies. Now, why not toxic zombies? So
yeah, toxic zombies who, by the way, can't just walk up a hill. Like
yes. Oh my god.
No. Jack Malice did wake up from the singing from Zorro. He's in the chat. He's in the chat, and he says no musical episode. So he hates those episodes. So we can't have a musical episode.
Oh,
but you can still sing. I don't care. So
I will do it.
Then we get. This is why I didn't even ask this on this week's cast, because I usually ask what's your least favorite moment of the episode, and I think it's pretty poignant. It's going to be the same for everybody, and
it's the part where the Walking Dead producers just really wanted to cut their CGI budget.
Yep.
Well, just when Ezekiel's snapping, just when he's finally hitting that point, Dottie Distortion joins the cast.
Hey, Dottie.
Hi.
Just when he's finally hitting that point of saying, finally, why we got the name of the episode. I'm just some guy. He's the accent's gone. He's just leave me. It throws back to what he told Carol. If you're asked to be the hero, be the hero. He's not being asked to be the hero this time. He's just trying to be the hero. He's like, leave. Let me take them. I'm dragging you guys down. I can hold them back. Go. And then
I would say he is absolutely being asked to be the hero by Jerry specifically, because he says to Jerry, Jerry says, "Your Majesty, we got to get you out of here." He goes, "Stop calling me that. I'm not your Majesty. I'm not your king." And Jerry goes, "Dude, I need you to be." Or no, he goes, "You don't need to call me that." He goes, "Dude, yeah, I do."
You need somebody to believe in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like the people that are following Ezekiel, they know he's not a king. He's duh. But they need to. He's given them something to believe in, and Jerry personifies that by saying, "Yeah, dude, I really do need to call you Your Majesty."
Well, And it even throws back to what he said in the speech as well, where he told the kid, "You're brave, be brave because you're brave," and that's what he's.
Yeah, you will be
brave
at
that point. It's
because
like
you already are.
Exactly. So it's like he's trying to just.
By the way, the
do
kid
things
was a
that he's been
terrible actor.
Yeah.
But it's like he's trying to do the things that he's been saying and not put a facade anymore, not be that con man that other people in the Saviors think he is. He's trying to prove that I am not what the Saviors are saying I am.
I would say it's more that he has realized, or he's thinking at that point, look, when I was putting on this facade before, it served a purpose. At this point, me pretending to be this isn't going to serve a purpose.
Yeah.
We need to get people safe. We need to get people out of here. I'm hurt. We're surrounded. I can get these two out if I just stay here. So him being kingly isn't going to help any of that right now. So I think that the entire reason he put on the king facade in the first place was to help people. So bringing it down right there is a symptom of him giving up, but it's also him saying, I don't need this right now.
What do you think, Mrs. Malice?
I think he just really wanted, I think he was done. I think he, at that point, being in that point, he was pretty much done. And I think he just wanted them to leave so he can just be, that would be the end of him. Yeah. I think he'd given up at that point.
Just die saving some people.
Yeah. Die saving people like a hero.
Yeah.
What they all saw him as too. So that's how he wanted to go out. But of course, Carol and Jerry wouldn't let him. So
do you think some of it, just throwing this out there, but do you think some of it could have been fear of having to go back and face all those people at the kingdom?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. A little bit of it. Yeah. Because, I mean, you got to go home and tell all the, the kids and the wives and the girlfriends and the mothers and the daughters, hey, we love, and, the husbands. And that, I forgot there was some women fighter there too.
I was waiting for that.
That, hey,
I was wrong.
I was wrong, and I got your spouse killed. I'm sorry, but hey, I have a tiger. Wait, no, I don't anymore.
and we see that right at the end when he's getting back into the kingdom after he's left giving the "not one dies" speech. He comes back with him, Carol, and Jerry.
Two, all but two
and
lost. It was not one lost, but it turned into all but two lost.
Yeah, or well, I guess all but three. But yeah, but. And that same kid with the terrible walks up to him and goes, and he just puts a hand on his shoulder, doesn't say anything, and you see the extras in the background going like,
So when Shiva,
because he lost everyone. When
Shiva becomes
zombie
meat, yeah. Isn't there like a cat food called Shiva as well? Sorry. I
think that's the more Queen of Sheba kind of thing.
Yeah. But I mean, that was by far the worst. That was the worst scene. That was essentially our first big death of the season. Because, people love that tiger, and the tiger comes to save them again and gives their life. I have on my soundtrack list for the whole sad ending.
Please tell me it's not Eye of the Tiger.
No, it's Don't You Cry for Me by Kobe.
Okay. For a second,
it's a circle of life.
Wow.
For a second, I thought you were going to say "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina."
No. Don't You Cry for Me by Kobe. So, if you watch the episodes with these songs, it does definitely make a interesting change to the episode and stuff like that, emotionally. But like I said, I
don't know. I was watching that scene, and honestly, I hadn't read the comic books to this point. I only read them up to about episode 100 where Glenn gets killed, and so I didn't know that the tiger was going to die. She was throwing people. She literally. I mean, you watched her throw one of them up a hill by the neck, and I thought, okay, well, she's just going to smack zombies down and just come over to him and he's going to pet her. And then she gets surrounded, and I was like, wait, what's happening? Nope.
Yeah,
wait.
you got to assume at some point in a swarm,
Stop.
the tiger doesn't know go for the head, or run out of harm's way.
But you would think the tiger knows get out of the crowd of things that are attacking you. Like, it had plenty of opportunity.
Well,
It could have just shouldered through and gotten up to him.
Part of being somewhat tamed.
Maybe
which,
also too, Shiva saw that he was giving up, and she thought she should go out with him. Maybe, I don't know. That's just a weird theory.
I mean, in the chat earlier, Robert said tiger versus 338 Lapau, dead tiger, LOL. But yeah, it's animal instinct only gets you so far.
Also, earlier in the chat, Super Hoovian Freak said, "Everyone hug a tiger tonight."
I said, do not listen to what she says to do. Do not hug a tiger. We do not endorse that. So,
I
don't
like
try that at home, kids.
Tigers are so pretty.
If it's going to be a stuffed animal, you can hug that, but no hugging.
Well, also, as
tigers will rip your face off.
Yeah, they'll rip your face right off.
Yeah. So, but to key in on what Robert said in the chat earlier, and I wanted to bring it up at the end. So we've gotten to pretty much the first assault, or what we've seen is the whole battle plan for these last 3 episodes. Attack the sanctuary, put them in disarray, send in the zombies to attack it,
steal their major weapons,
take out the other lookouts and stuff. And now we're to a point where we've pretty much lost the kingdom for the most part for the fighters.
All the fighters, yeah.
Yeah.
Hilltop is ready to kind of have people come at their door, I guess, if they get the weapons. But has this really done anything? I mean,
no.
Like you said, Dwight wants to hurt Negan, but did this hurt the Saviors? Remember how big that group is.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say that they lost a fair part of their fighting force as well. Just the ones even guarding the gates. Now, it depends on how exactly big the Saviors' force is, whether they lost a quarter or an eighth or even just a 16th. If it's just a 16th, if the people that if they just lost the people that were guarding the perimeter and they have so many more reserves, then this was a terrible idea. Mm-hmm. But if that was a quarter of their force, then it's a huge win.
Okay.
If I remember right, too, in previous episodes, one of the Saviors, I think it was Michonne that was driving a truck with her, and she said something about them having many outposts. So we've only seen how many total. I mean, there was the satellite one. There was that one where Maggie and Carol got caught at. There's this main Savior one. Then there's all the outposts they hit. And then this outpost and the other outposts, maybe 8, maybe 9 we've seen. So how many is many?
Once again, we still haven't brought the trash heapsters back into it. The heapsters.
No, they can stay away.
Or the
Oceanside has
Oceanside
back on the.
And I don't know if this is spoiler-ish or not, but on Talking Dead, Kirkman said that we will see more from Oceanside.
Okay.
Which is good.
Now
we're gonna need it.
So, yeah. They did what they were seeking out to do, but at the same time, they may have not done as much damage as they needed to do. Mm-hmm. On the Kingdom side, has Ezekiel lost all favor now that people have seen that he said one thing? And like you said, they knew he wasn't a leader. They just were following him because he spoke well and showed him he could lead. Now they're seeing, so has he lost his control with that? I mean,
I think it's going to depend on how he reacts now that he's back.
Yeah, and depending on how loyal and how much the people cared about him too, how they're going to react to him.
It depends on team morale.
Yeah, it literally depends on all those people and him to see. It's hard to say what's going to happen with that because it can go bad and it can go good. So.
By the way, Mrs. Malice, I am loving your shirt.
Thank you. You got Negan.
I know. It's real prominent. Just moving back and forth. I'm like, just look at Negan. Look at me constantly.
Well, Daryl's way at the bottom of my shirt on a bike, so I can't. I wish I could I can't do this.
We already had a situation like that on this weekend.
Yeah, the bacon.
not-
Yep.
I won't do that.
Yeah.
Stand up.
But I want to thank everybody for coming out and listening to us talk about the episode. Please leave any thoughts that you have about the episode, whether you answer to one of our questions, thoughts that we had, disagree, agree, put them in the comments below. We
sure.
want to see, we'd love to interact with you guys that are checking out the cast more often, because there's a lot of views happening on this cast, and we do appreciate it. Great.
There's 1,000+ people watching this cast every week. Let us know what you think about what we said, what you thought about the episode. Do you think that Ezekiel's broken? Do you think he can come back from it? What you thought about the episode in general. We would love to hear your thoughts.
You have any questions, Mrs. Malice, you want to?
How sad you were about losing the tiger.
Oh.
Yeah. And so just to recap on what the soundtrack was for the episode, if you guys want to go back and listen to it. So opening up the episode, you have Yesterday by the Beatles, going through the emotion of the bodies. You have All Shook Up by Elvis Presley. When Carol stands up and starts talking to the guys with the guns, you have Confident by Demi Lovato.
I don't think you said that one earlier.
Yeah, he did.
You stepped away during that.
Did he? Oh, okay.
Stepped away during that. When Ezekiel and Jerry are getting ready to fight the zombies, and right when they stand in their stance is when you have to start it. It's My Life by Bon Jovi. When Rick and Daryl show up, Holding Out for a Hero by Bonnie Tyler from the Footloose soundtrack. And for the ending scene with the tiger and returning to the kingdom, Don't You Cry for Me by Kobe.
And of course, the alternate song for Rick and Daryl would be I Can't Drive 55, Sammy Hagar.
Yeah. And if you guys think there's a better song that would be for these scenes, please leave those in the comments.
Let us know that too.
Hear what your suggestions are for a great soundtrack for the episode.
What about I got another one. When Carol shoots the guys with the guns, let the bodies hit the floor. That's a good one.
That was a good one as well.
That's great. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming and checking us out. Please come back next Monday when we talk about episode 5, and we finally get to see Negan and Gabriel again and find out what's been going on.
Let us know if you think it's just going to be Negan and Gabriel, because that's my bet.
I think it's going to be
long
back
episode of that.
between the Saviors and Negan and Gabriel.
I think we're getting some Hilltop stuff too. I think I saw in one of the
Are we ever going to see the people at Alexandria again? We haven't seen Carl or Michonne since the first episod.
And
I have
Rosie,
no idea.
And we still have no idea what's going on with future Rick flash forwards or whatever it is.
and we don't know what's going on with what's his name? Eric? Is it Eric? Or
Well, Eric's dead. Aaron
Aaron.
is still alive. Yeah.
Aaron, the guy once again that Carl went back to say, "Hey, we're not bad people," and leave food for. We don't know what's going on with him. I mean, there's so much. There's so many.
Totally forgot about that.
Yeah, there's so many open things still for this season. But make sure to come back next Monday to talk about the next episode. And if you guys like this, please hit that like button if you want to know when we're going live for any of our casts. We're doing Supernatural on Thursdays right now as well. We're currently on hiatus for the MaliceCast Live, but that'll be coming back January 5th. Hit the subscribe button and you'll be made aware. If this episode was really hard on you by losing Shiva and you just need to go relax somewhere and you're in the San Diego area, Battle Mage, fantastic brewery, does all things geek and nerd, magic cards all over the place. They're a fantastic place. Check them out. I mean, they have a beer called Goblin's Blood. So definitely check them out.
If you're in LA, go to Meltdown. It's pretty much the LA go-to for comics and all things nerdery.
Awesome. And then if you're in the Ohio area, check out or Idaho. I always get them mixed up, but check out Turbo Comics.
You get Idaho and Ohio mixed up
because the it's not that.
It's just the O at the end.
I get where our person from that area is, which state he's in. Yeah, I can never remember if he's in the Buckeye state or if he's in the potato state. So,
what the hell is a Buckeye?
But But yeah, come back and see us next week. If you want to follow us, go to malice-corp.com. That's our website. We have articles coming out there. There's going to be some great book reviews coming out from Cricket on there. And we also have stuff about all things nerd going on, older articles, all that type of stuff. Come check it out. We have a quiz popping up on there too for 80s music lyrics.
Ooh, I'm gonna.
Or you can follow the cast on Twitter at MaliceCast, or you can even follow the whole entire website at Malice Corp on Twitter. Where can we follow you, Mr. Zorro?
At ICZorro on Twitter and Instagram. Been doing a lot of winemaking stuff lately. I'm finally about done fermenting my wine, so I'm going to do a little acidulation, press it out, get the free juice out there, and start storing it for a year or 3 until it becomes actual drinkable wine. Nice. Winemaking is a long process.
You better bring some down to me.
I'm going to have about 28 bottles when I'm done. This is a very
by the time
small...
the actual zombie apocalypse comes,
yeah, then I will have a case and or 2.5 cases roughly.
You can follow our producer Jack Malice on Twitter at Jack_Malice, especially if you have any questions towards Mrs. Malice about Walking Dead. That is the best source to send those questions to, or leave them in the comments below. And you can follow me on Twitter at Mest_Malice Corp, and you can also follow the Instagram for the website at Malice_Corp.
It's all in the comments, or it's all in the section below the video. Below. Just scroll down.
Yeah.
If you guys, this is the first episode that you watched and you want to see last week's episode of our breakdown,
please
go ahead and click on the square that's going to pop up right there. That'll be last week's episode. If you want to see something that's recommended for you by the channel based off of your viewing habits, go ahead and click on that video right there. The best one, if you can't figure out where the subscribe button is and you want to help us out, click on the little subscribe button. It's going to pop up right here, the little logo. And we thank you so much. We will see you guys next week. Let's see if we can hit another 1K video. And
yeah, we can.
You guys keep nerding on.
Carry on.
Wrong cast.
Carry on.
That's what I say at the end of all of them.
I know.